Hey everyone, welcome to your Modern Maven Tarot Monthly Tarot. Before we dive into the tarot though, I wanted to go over the astrology briefly for November 2024 and also want to thank all of you for joining me. If this does end up resonating, please do hit that like button, subscribe, and share this with somebody who needs to hear this message. For November 2024, there's a lot happening astrologically. We're finally going to be entering Pluto and Aquarius, which is very exciting, but remember too, this is a very pivotal transformational period. This transformation for some people might happen overnight on a conscious level, but as far as the 3D level, we'll be going through some transformations for a while. Now, if you want to skip ahead to your tarot reading, I will have that time stamped, but if you want to stick around for a little bit, get a little bit of information, I also highly suggest that you check out astrology.com's calendar for November 2024. Take a look at your chart and see if there's any key highlights, specifically too if you have a planet, let's say you have Mercury in Sagittarius, and we have Mercury entering Sagittarius on November 2nd. I would highlight that and then utilize that energy to the best of your benefit. Since this month is so transformative, we really want to stay grounded. So I'm going to remind everyone, the best thing you can do is constantly do your shadow work, all right? Your inner child wants to feel safe. Okay, and so the best thing you can do is continually do that, utilize that energy, because the more of us who individually do that shadow work, the better off the collective will be. Okay, so let's kick this off, and the full calendar again will be linked in the description of this video. Now, November 1st, we start with the new moon in Scorpio, okay? So this is going to be exciting and scary, okay? Because, it's that idea of knowing that there's change, and change can be exciting, but it can also be scary because we're leaving the comforts of what we know, all right? Even if what we know isn't the best for us, there's still comfort in really expecting what's to come. Now, this new moon is very productive, okay? It'll help us plan for the future. And since it's a new moon and it's regarding transformation, let go of anything from your past identity. And I've already noticed this in the tarot readings that I've done so far. There is so much to embrace with the new, but we gotta let go of the baggage from the past to feel lighter, especially once we get into that air energy of Aquarius and Pluto. Pluto and Aquarius. So let go of your past self, get ready for the new, embrace the possibilities. So this new moon, even with all the chaos in the collective, personally set those intentions for yourself, for the collective, for what you envision the future, all right? And allow it to come to fruition. Now, November 2nd, Mercury enters Sagittarius. I love this because that energy is really bringing truth and honesty, okay? And so here's where this truth and honesty too, it's going to be for the rest of the year, where it's like, I want the truth, all right? You're going to want the truth. We have a lot of misinformation. We have a lot of energy of deceit that has been around. And this is a great time also for making travel plans, okay? So if you also want to explore learning more, if you've ever wanted to go back to school, now is the time to do it. And getting a better understanding of the world, okay, and the collective. And this will be great going into Pluto and Aquarius, connecting us all in the global community. So the more you can do to understand people who are outside of your, personal bubble of understanding, the better you will be in preparation for the insights that are coming to all of us, okay? But travel plans, get excited. You just had that new moon, so you actually might want to incorporate some travel plans in that new moon in Scorpio. Where have you always wanted to travel? Exploring and expanding your knowledge, okay? Now, November 3rd, we have Mars entering Leo. All right. Now, with this, we are going to feel more passionate about life, okay? However, don't forget, along with the heat, that Leo can bring the drama. So going back to your shadow work, the more that you can make that ego energy less confrontational, I guess, is really what I would say, the better off you'll be. I mean, sometimes we do have to allow that confrontation to come. It's just make sure that you're choosing your battles wisely, all right? Because the Mars and Leo, we're going to want to assert ourselves to defend our ego. And sometimes we don't necessarily need to get into the muck, all right? Now, remember, a lot of chaos. There's going to be so much baiting and trolling to get you to attach your energy to low vibe energies, all right? So rise above and focus on the future ahead. Focus on your new moon in Scorpio intentions, okay? And allow that flair for drama to allow you to shine, not to get in the depths of the muck. Now, November 11th, 11/11, I love this, Venus enters Capricorn. So this is where we're going to really get more serious and practical, okay? This is the energy of slow and steady wins the race. Now remember, Venus isn't only love, it's your finances and your health, okay? So when it comes to business relationships, your reputation, thinking practically about all of these areas of your life of relationships, health, wellness, finances. You're going to be feeling more practical, and you're also going to learn to align with people that make your life better. Okay, so this is where we really are going to start seeing the people who are putting in the work. All right, so if you are in a situation where maybe you feel like you're carrying more of a weight, you're going to start noticing the people around you who are doing just as much as you, and you're going to start gravitating towards those people. Okay, but this is the best time to get serious with everything. So we're wrapping up the year, we're tying up loose ends. And so if there's anything related to loose ends with your finances, with any business relationships, that's really something that will encourage us to tackle. Okay, now November 11th, I'm sorry, not November 11th, November 12th, Saturn goes direct in Pisces. Now, this is exciting because remember, we had Saturn going direct in November 2023 at the beginning of November. And now we have a full circle, okay, of a year. Now, Saturn has gone direct and retrograde in that time a couple times, but we get to go and reflect back on the last year. What challenges have you faced? How have you built your strength and resilience? These are questions we want to ask because we want to be our own cheerleader, okay? Especially leading up to the full moon and after this. So it's time to drop back into reality. So it's so nice that the day before we have Venus entering Capricorn, which is already energetically encouraging us to really get serious about what it is we want to nurture, okay? So when we get back into the reality, Saturn's pulling the reins back, all right, until the end of the year. Now, this is where we can use the lessons we've learned to build solid foundations. Okay, and emotional boundaries. That's important. Now remember, because Pisces, that's a big lesson with Pisces in general, is emotional boundaries. So this is setting us up for 2025. Now here's the big thing, because solid foundations, so important. If there's cracks in your foundation, we want to nip that in the bud right now, all right? And so here's where we need to ask ourselves, of all the areas I've grown, of all the areas where I've stepped out of my comfort zone, where am I still holding myself back? Because that's what we are going to want to accept the challenge of into the new year, all right? Utilize November and December to really flush out anything that is still left over from past identities, past chapters, okay? Now, November 15th, full moon in Taurus. So this is so lovely because Taurus rules Venus, right? And on November 11th, we have Venus going into a fellow Earth sign, Capricorn, a very practical energy. Now, this full moon in Taurus is going to be very grounding, okay? It's a very sensual full moon, actually. So it's really where this is the fork in the road, okay? Where we have to ask ourselves, what are our values, all right? If your values change, that is part of evolving. That is part of this higher consciousness. So this is a good time to really go over everything related to value and what you value, and also your valuables, okay? Because Venus, again, also rules finances, and Taurus is the ruler of Venus. So we really want to ask ourselves, like, perhaps there's things that you valued before, like material things that you don't value as much. Let's say that you always valued, buying really nice clothes. We're in Sagittarius season. You're thinking, you know what? That money that I've been using to buy clothes that I'm not wearing, I could put in a savings account to take that dream trip that I've always wanted to take. All right, that's the kind of like reassessing values here with this full moon. Really asking yourselves, where am I putting this money? And am I getting the satisfaction I used to get out of what I'm doing with my money? Okay, and again, like also putting out the energy of love. Please, 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 collective love. We need it so much. Now, the big one, November 19th, Pluto enters Aquarius. Okay, now Pluto is finally going to be here for the next 2 decades. So this really truly is the dawning of a new age. We have to remember that. Now it's the dawning of a new age, okay? And so while some of us might like consciously be already there and jumping in there, we really need to remind ourselves that this is going to take work, and Pluto's about power, okay? Personal power. Now we have Saturn direct, which is actually a positive thing because we're able to put that discipline and rise in the challenge, the resilience into this new age of rethinking power, all right? Re-identifying what power is to us personally and power in the collective and how we want to see power play out in the collective. Okay, so we have to get ready though for what this brings, okay? It does bring the falling of empires, rebellion, but a new vision for the world. And so that's what you need to hold on to, is understand the process, send out love, and really believe in the dawning of a new age, okay? Now, November 21st, Sun enters Sagittarius, okay? So over the next 4 weeks, this is going to be really fiery, but really positive fiery energy, all right? This is where we are going to feel this sense of generosity and daring, taking risks, all right, filled with this feeling of freedom. And we want to race to that new horizon of this new worldview. So we're really going to be pushed and amped to push forward Pluto and Aquarius energy, all right? So channel that energy to the best of your abilities. And remember, we also have Mars in Leo. So remember not to only do it for your own personal ego, but what you truly think is the vision for the future for all of us, not just yourself, but for all of us, okay? Really putting your passion into what is best for the collective and allowing your ego to shine in a manner that isn't just self-serving, all right? But this is going to be so exciting. This is bold energy. Put yourself out there, okay? Really do the things that you've always been scared to do. Because remember, we also had all of that Scorpio energy. So we're shedding, prior to this, we're shedding all of the things that have been holding us back. Now, November 30th. Oh, and right after that, we do have a Mercury retrograde, but it's really more about travel. So just pay attention to your travel plans during Mercury retrograde, okay? But Mercury retrogrades aren't always this doom and gloom. Okay, now November 30th, a new moon in Sagittarius. So we have 2 new moons in this month, okay? So this is a power-packed month. And remember, I'm only doing just the highlights. Go to astrology.com. There is a lot more details. Highlight these dates. Write a little note in your calendar, for setting intentions, for making daring moves, for doing everything, all right? Now, new moon, November 30th, new moon in Sagittarius. This is where we want to spend the last days of November breaking out of our comfort zone and expanding our horizons, okay? This is a good time to take a holiday trip. Again, going back to that Sagittarius energy of learning, expanding our horizons, traveling. Like, this is where we want to get excited, okay? So we're putting all that energy together, and now's the time to actually take these plans and be like, I am going to come and make them into my reality. All right. So it's a very exciting month ahead. I hope you all are excited. Remember, stay, as Pam Gregory says, stay on your eagle's perch. Stay focused on the future. Align with your values. Align with the people who also align with your values for the greater good of the collective. Okay. And now enjoy your tarot reading. All right, Geminis, let's get to your tarot reading. While I was clearing your cards, mental mastery was like flashing lights, all right? So I want you to please be mindful of how much time you're spending on social media, okay? I want you to utilize that inner compass, utilize the power of your communication, okay? I don't want you, not the power of communication of other people, the power of communication with yourself, okay? This is not a time to get lost in the sea of air communication, okay? This is a time for you to master your communication, master writing that memoir, writing that poetry, speaking that podcast, but you put it out there and then you're not waiting to see how people react. This is mental mastery month for you, okay? And how you can utilize that power, all right? The power of communication, but really the power of communication with yourself. Those intrusive thoughts come in, where is that coming from? Why is this? That judgment, where is this coming from? Why am I thinking this? Okay. And it's not to beat yourself up. All right. That's another key thing. There's a lot of strength here, but it always comes from hurt. All right. It's, people, hurt other people, and that hurt, it doesn't have to be a severe hurt, okay? But it does, it causes a lot of work, it causes a lot of like, oh, I wish I wouldn't have said that, I wish I wouldn't have thought that, oh, yada, yada, like get out of your head, okay? But not in the sense of ignoring your thoughts, getting out of your head, of letting it control you, all right? You are in control of your communication, you are in control of your beliefs, you are in control of your thoughts if you allow yourself the ability to do that shadow work, to release the things from the past, accept this new identity, okay? There's something here to getting back to the core of who you are while losing the energy of what you, the mask that has been worn for so long, okay? There is something here to a mask that has been worn for so long, and Scorpio season's really here to transform how you assert yourself, okay? There's a big message of how you assert yourself, transforming that, and not allowing the hurt to dictate anymore, okay? It's interesting because Scorpio's got a similar message of like, you know how to like jab at somebody, and knowing how to do that, who does that serve, okay? It's just the scared inner child that thinks it needs to hide itself. So just shine, all right, Geminis? Let's get to your reading. Mental mastery, though, I'm telling you, it's a big message. So it'll be interesting to see if, yeah, the mature emotional evolution, the emotional maturity to not worry about other people so much and what other people are doing and what other people are thinking. Okay. All right. Well, that's going to be hard for you this one. Okay. Let's see here. Amazing. All right. This is wonderful. So you're clearly learning the lesson, which I love. But remember, tarot is a choice. So we do always have to remember that. Okay. It could be too very strongly energetically connected to a male energy that had like something to do with your emotions. Your emotions are strongly connected to this person. Could be a father figure, a partner, whatever that is for you. But you are strongly connected, and your cup and what you value is also strongly connected to this energy. But overall energy, 6 of Wands, Jupiter and Leo. So this is fascinating because there is a lot of expansion coming with this. Obviously, Jupiter is in Gemini right now, going retrograde. It will actually be transitioning, I think, to Jupiter in Leo, maybe, honestly. Well, I don't remember when. But anyways, the expansion, okay, a lot of people are really coming to you and seeing like you know what you're talking about. You, like, how do you, especially in the chaos, maybe you're just really vibing, right? And people are like, how are you able to do that? And a lot of heads are turning to you. There's a lot of expansion of your ego. Just be mindful, all right? Mars is going into Leo. We have to be mindful of healthy ego energy and not getting the gratification of how people are reacting. You're just walking through, all right? You're not waiting to see, you know, who's smiling and who's not. You are just in your energy, okay? So this is more of the expansion of your ego, but in a healthy way. I don't want you attaching to what other people think or whatever, all that stuff. Okay, what you need more of, the 6 of Coins. This is strong Taurus energy. We have that Taurus full moon. We really need more of really recognizing where we're at. Like, so let's say you're somebody who is of means and you need more of that generosity, okay? You really need to understand where you're at in your position of power. And this is where you are just, let's say like there's a charity, you write the check and you give it to it. You're not posting on like social media, look how much money I gave to this organization. That's not what we need. We just need the giving, all right? But there's something here to really recognizing your relationship with money, and actually really importantly too, how you speak about your relationship with money, okay? What you have the right amount of. I love this. 8 of Wands, Mercury and Sagittarius. All right, we are going to have Mercury going into Sagittarius. And so here's where, this is what I want you to see, okay, is your ability to communicate all of the wonderful aspects of Sagittarius energy, right? Like that warm spiritual energy, okay? So remember, that happens on November 2nd. Truth and honesty are the name of the game, okay? And so you have to remember, communication's happening fast. And so this is where, like, talk about value and what you value, you know, your values. you want to make sure, because everything's happening so fast, that you're fully aligned inside mental mastery. You're fully aligned with the future self. Okay, we're ridding ourselves of all that other toxic energy. This is fascinating. What you need less of is the sun. So I think there's like this idea of, we just want to be mindful of our place right now in the collective, and that while we have all this wonderful, like, that we can utilize our energy for other people and for the greater good. And so, like what I said about utilizing the power of your communication, okay, because that's so interesting to see the sun in the area of what you, that's kind of like this idea of completion too, you know, like I've learned it all. I don't need any more. You know what I mean? Like, there's just this energy that I really want you to be mindful of, like, especially because of all that Sagittarius energy, traveling, learning. You're in the right place to do all that traveling, okay? Book that trip you want to book. The confidence and all that energy, it's like we're not done. We're never done, okay? That's, I think, the most important message. We're not done and we're never done, okay? And get excited about that. Right? You want to keep learning. You want to keep expanding. Now, in the area what you can change, 6 of Cups. This is where I really want you to think about, especially if it's something from childhood. I really want you to think about how you've become who you've become and getting rid of the toxic energy of it, okay? And really putting on those rose-tinted glasses and thinking about how you are where you're at because of where you're from, and getting to the core of that, all right? And just allowing things to be, okay? This is Sun and Scorpio energy, okay? So while the Sun is in Scorpio, we need to shed things related to our inner child, all right? If our inner child wasn't safe, how can we make it safe now? If our inner child did have a wonderful childhood, that's great, all right? There's nothing negative about that. I just really think that you need to get back to understanding that whatever was connected to this past identity, we just need to stop bringing it up, okay? We just need to be done with it and only focusing on the future self, where we're at now, okay? Now, what you need to accept, the Page of Wands. So here's where there might always be an excuse not to get started with something that we're really passionate about, that really creatively, that we just feel good doing it. All right. That inner child wants to be creative. That inner child wants that spark, that fire, getting out there and just experiencing life. Okay. Enough with the limitations is really what this is saying, because this wand here is it's this wand here too. Okay. You want to be okay with, like, wanting what you want, I guess, is an interesting message that's coming through. End of the month, Queen of Swords. Okay. So here's those boundaries. Here's that mental mastery. All right, this is the Queen of Wands, or I'm sorry, not Queen of Wands, Queen of Swords. Protect that throat chakra. Be very mindful with what you speak, because that truth and honesty is coming out. But if it's from a low ego energy of, like, I know more than you, that's going to not go over well with people, okay? So you need to allow your past experiences to help inform your decisions without those experiences being in the driver's seat, okay? You are not where you were before. And now you're in a position where you can really recognize how powerful your thoughts, your beliefs, your communication are, all right? And you're going to be tested. We're all going to be tested, okay? And so it's really asking yourself, what are you focusing your thoughts on? What are you focusing your communication on? Because this is the discipline of laser focusing that with where you're going, okay? All right. So let's get some past life energy. I want to see what this past life energy is related to the 6 of Cups, because there is something we can really change, and it's connected to, something we're emotionally connected to. Okay, spouse and vows. This is huge. Wow. Okay. Now, these could be 2 different past lives that, like, have come together, and, like, that's why the buildup is so big, is because it's been, like, lifetimes of buildup of this energy. So let's go with spouse first. All right. You drew this card because your question relates to a marriage relationship in this life or a previous one. Perhaps your current spouse is someone with whom you shared a romance or relationship before. If you're single at present, your future spouse is likely from your past lifetimes. In some cases, lovers reunite across centuries and share an undying bond of true love. This is what is usually referred to as a soulmate. So drawing this card can signify that the person you are inquiring about is in fact that individual. Okay, now let's get to vows, because I mean vows in marriage too, right? Okay. You drew this card because the vows that you took in prior lifetimes are blocking you in this one. Most likely you were a monk or nun when you made these vows, which still continue to haunt you. Common examples may include a vow of poverty or self-denial, which could block your flow of abundance, a vow of chastity, which can inhibit your romantic or sexual life in present, or a vow of self-punishment, which can lead you to sabotage or to hurting yourself. Unless these vows are severed, they can affect you across time. Fortunately, vows are easy to undo. It's simply a matter of firmly stating, I am willing to sever all vows that are blocking me in this lifetime. I ask that all aspects of painful vows be now and forever undone in all directions of time for everyone concerned. By saying this either aloud or silently, you help heal the bondage of the past and open yourself up to present day joy and abundance in all forms. Now, here's the deal, Gemini. You can say this, right? And you open yourself up to that. But you're still going to have those situations. You're still going to have those conversations that open up the choice of whether or not to speak about this in a certain way, okay? So that is a very important message, okay? We have the choice. And again, going back to by the end of the month though, Queen of Swords, by the end of the month, you do recognize, I have the choice whether or not I'm going to engage in this conversation. I have the choice of whether or not I'm gonna say this or say that, or say nothing at all, right? You are gonna be in the driver's seat of that, and that is so unbelievably exciting. Okay, empowering question. What empowering question? Okay. So for the month of November, ask yourself, especially with those 2 new moons and the full moon, what are my best qualities? And is there something in my life that makes me forget time while I'm doing it? What is it? That's what you want to be focusing on, okay? This is that dreamy energy, the 6 of Cups, like with the 6, oh, I didn't even notice all these 666. How cool is that? I didn't even see that. Dang, this is really life-changing. Also, 666 is strongly connected to finances, okay, and stability. Look up 666 angel number 2. Wow, this is exciting. Okay, so what archetypal energy is affecting Gemini's November 2023? Oh, wait, not 2023, 2024. Pioneer, light attribute, passion for doing and creating what has not been done before. Shadow attributes, compulsive need to keep moving. You're kind of restless, so that could be a shadow attribute. But really just, I really want you to be creative, okay? And priest, wow, with those vows. Very strong energy here, Geminis. Light attributes, facilitate spiritual commitments, serves as a channel of spiritual energy. Shadow attributes, violates the trust of your spiritual community, seduced by your own spiritual role. So that is a very strong, being mindful of that ego energy connected to anything, especially if you are on this spiritual path, spiritual learning, teaching others, right? Gemini energy, strong teaching. So just really ask yourself if you're aligned with the light or the shadow of that, okay? And that your ego doesn't take the control too much, okay? Wonderful to have a healthy ego, but it's not that we're doing this to satisfy our ego, okay? All right. Dragon energy for November, Geminis. White gold dragon from Lyra. Or Lyra, whatever, connects you to the highest Christ light. Develop your casual chakra. Oh, I'm sorry, not your casual chakra. It's like, it's weird to say, call it casual. Causal chakra, bathe in 9th dimensional Christ light. Okay, so also 666 angel number is connected to that energy too, of the, you know, the quote Christ consciousness, right? Because it's just, it's what do you value? Are you aligning your communication with your values? Are you aligning your daily routines with those values, right? Like there's just a strong energy of aligning yourself with that. Okay. And crystal energy to help you activate this. Garnet. Ooh, I love this. Manifestation of purpose. Okay. This is where, like, if you've been feeling scattered and lost, Gemini energy, like, why am I here? You're manifesting that. Okay. And it's by aligning all, like I said, it's really harnessing this Queen of Swords, really locking in that energy of mental mastery. Okay. Which fluorite, get some fluorite too, please. I wonder if fluorite's at the bottom. That would be here. Hilarious. Oh no, it's not. Okay. All right. So let's get a final clarifier, and then we're going to close this out, Geminis. Thank you so much for joining me. You have an exciting month ahead. The biggest key is that mental mastery, all right? Open yourself up to that and make sure, yeah, you're going to be busy, okay? That Eight of Wands indicated that. You're going to be busy, okay? Clear that. Five of Cups, all right? Yeah, you clear that Five of Cups, and it's leading you to the King of Cups, which is your dreams, emotional evolution. If you're looking for a partner, right? Like, there's this idea of understanding everything as it is, and just stay balanced, okay? Grounded and balanced, all right, Geminis? Thank you so much for joining me again. Please hit that like button, subscribe, share this with somebody who needs to hear this message, and as always, shine your inner light. You've got this.